Let us recite the first verse. Vedo nityamabhiyapam tadudikam karmasvanushthiyatam teneshasya vidhiyatam apachite kamye matistyajyadam papaugapparidhuyatam bharasukhe
Sangasatsuvidhiyatam bhagavatāh bhaktirdruಢādhiyatam shāntyādipariṣīyatam
karmasu santyajyatam Sadvidvānupasrupyatam pratidinam tatpādukā sevyatam brahmaikāksharamacyatam sutishirām vākyam samākarnyatam. In last night, the first verse, we were told Atmecha Vyavasiyatam. Entertain the desire for knowing the self. The desire is something that arises. We cannot desire to desire. Meaning that it is not for me to determine what will be the desire in my mind. What the next thought in my mind will be also, I cannot determine. So, it is not that we can desire, we can decide to desire in a certain way, understand this? Desire, this is the thought arises in the mind, desire also arises in the mind. Now what kind of desire will arise? depends upon what is the disposition of our mind. The kind of desire is determined by the disposition of the mind. We talked about it yesterday, that if the mind is tamasic, then there is desire to do nothing. In tamasic mind also desires are there to withdraw, to sleep, to drop out, to hurt. This kind of desires are there in a mind in which there is predominance of tamas. In the mind in which there is predominance of rajas, there is the desire to enjoy, to acquire, to achieve, to enjoy. In a mind which is predominance in sattva, there will be desire for knowledge. So here we are told, Atmecha Vyavasiyadam. May you entertain the desire for self-knowledge. Meaning that a desire for self-knowledge should arise in your mind. What it means is that, so until then, is the use of karma yoga. We say there are two stages of life. Life of activity and life of contemplation, karma yoga and jnana yoga. So how far should I continue to perform my actions in the spirit of duty, in the spirit of offering to the Lord, accepting the result as the prasad of the Lord as we discussed yesterday? That is the life of pravritti, life of activity. How long should I do that? Until the desire for knowing the self arises in me. This is what the Upanishads tell us. Tamedam vedana vachanena brahmana vividishanti yajnena dhanena tapasa anashikena. The Buddhanic Upanishad says that Brahmana, the contemplative people, they perform actions of repeating the Vedas, performing yajna, giving dhanam, tapas, austerity, vividishanti, so that there should arise in them a desire for knowing the self. So this is what is called antahakara shuddhi, purification of mind. Or what our Swami likes to call emotional maturity, where our emotions have become mature. This is the success of grihastha, the life of activity. Ideally, the grihastha, he is an adhikari for karma yoga, really. When our scriptures talk about karma yoga, it primarily applies to a householder who alone can perform the Vedic rituals. But let us say it applies to anybody. But what is the test? Swami, how do I know if I am progressing? You will know it yourself. And what is meant by progress is the progressive purification of the mind. As there is purification of mind, there is an internal cheerfulness, satisfaction, contentment automatically. Automatically desires to enjoy, etc., they automatically go down. That arises in my heart, devotion, bhakti, shraddha, a love for Ishvara, love for Mahatma, love for Guru, love for scriptures, is all there within us. Even a person who declares he is a Nastika, meaning a non-believer, doesn't matter what the person is. But in that person also, if the mind becomes sattvic, all these qualities will manifest. Because primarily every human being is similar. Our mind is made of three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. So when it is predominant of tamas, people say, I don't believe in God as such. Or there is an ego, there is arrogance, which are signs of rajas. But if they also live a life of values, some people who claim they do not believe in God also believe in honesty. They believe in truthfulness. They believe in justice. I would say that is their God. If they do it sincerely, that purification definitely takes place. And in their mind also someday will arise this love for God means whatever word you use. God means that there is a reality in our life. There is a certain goal in our life. That this entire universe is sustained by something. It emerges from something, is sustained by something, it emerges back to something. There is a cause of this universe, and that's what we call God. Nobody can deny that. You see, people have problems with God, they start by scriptures. If sometimes scriptures teach that the God is an angry God and He will punish you and this kind of things are told, they may get turned off from that. If they also had an opportunity to listen to a guru properly, some kind, compassionate person, maybe they also would see this fact. Because God is, our Swami says, you don't have to believe in God, you have to understand God. Why? Because what is God? What Vedanta teaches is, what is God? See that fact. So you are trying to say that you are God. Not only I am God, you are God, everybody is God. How can this limited being be God? This limited being is the locus of manifestation of the limitless. So God is the reality of life. Truth is the reality of life. Ultimately, whatever complaints we have about the world, that there is injustice, there is violence, there is suffering, this is what? Because of reading and the mass media, this is the impression they gather that in the world there is nothing but suffering, nothing but injustice, nothing but fighting, nothing but conflict. That's all that's being told to us. But there is enough justice, enough dharma, enough goodness is there in this universe. Understand, the universe cannot survive. There may be destruction, I don't say no, but that's in a few pockets. Largely, human being is a kind person. So there is enough kindness. A lot of good work is being done by a lot of people everywhere. Anyway, the idea is that there is a reality. At the basis, at the root of all of this, there is truth. At the root of everything, there is love. At the root of everything, there is wholeness, completeness, limitlessness. This is what Vedanta teaches. We'll come to that. But the desire for knowledge is arisen, then Acharya says that now you provide yourself a conducive atmosphere for the desire to be nurtured and nourished, and for the desire to become more and more intense. The knowledge of the desire, the knowledge of the craving for the knowledge. And for that, we were told in the next verse, we are told, Sangha Satsuvidiyadam. You keep the company of the Sat means Sat Purushas, good people, here says wise people. Wise people, I say, whether we find or not, but good people. Learned people. Those who are kind at heart, and those who are of similar thinking people. In short, at any time we should keep company of the people who can inspire some goodness in us. Because both the tendencies we have within ourselves, we have the good and noble tendencies seeds of love and kindness and compassion. Each one of us has that. Unfortunately, we also have some cruelty and anger and jealousy. That is also within us. And we being right now not strong enough, our mind is subject to being influenced by the environment in which we are. That what is desirable, that we expose ourselves to a conducive environment where the goodness within us gets encouraged. Whatever Shraddha we have, whatever bhakti we have, they get encouraged and they grow. So that is what happens when we are in the company of the good people, like-minded people, those other mumukshus, other people who also have value for knowledge, value for devotion, value for scriptures. So seek company of those people. Sangha, Satsu, Vijayata, a very important thing. This satsang is necessary for everybody. Says Shankaracharya ji, Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischaratatvam, Nischaratatve Jivan Mukti. Satsangatve Nissangatvam. Sangha means attachment. Attachment we always have. To be attached is the nature of the mind. Normally, a person is attached to the worldly things, to one's family, to one's possessions, and to one's, job, and one's the worldly possessions we are attached to. So what we want is the same attachment, the locus of attachment be changed from worldly things to Ishvara. That's all. Bhakti is a very beautiful thing. It is the nature of mind to be attached somewhere. Just change the focus from world to Ishvara. And that is what happens when we seek the company of people who have bhakti. So good people means people who have devotion, people who have shraddha, the trust and the faith, people who are seeking to study the scriptures, those who have value for knowledge. Will be inspired. And if you are lucky enough to now and then, if not all the time, get the company of saints, then that is very inspiring. There was a famous saint in India, his name was Tulsidas. He has written a text called Ramcharitmanas, Ramayana he has written. Valmiki Ramayana is of course very famous, but the regional Ramayana also. And in North India, this is a very famous Ramayana called Ramcharitmanas in the Hindi language. Then Tulsidas compares the saints as moving prayaga, mobile walking prayaga. What is prayaga? Prayaga is, in Allahabad, where the three rivers, there is the confluence of three rivers. The Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. So three rivers confluence. They say that Yamuna stands for the stream of karma. Saraswati stands for the stream of knowledge. Ganga stands for the stream of devotion. Karma, bhakti and jnana. So Tulsidas says the saints are the moving prayer. In their heart there is a confluence of three rivers, the karma, bhakti and jnana. See, there is no such thing as mere jnana, mere bhakti and mere. Saints find everything. Not a single saint who is not a bhakta of Bhagavan. Even those who talk about only jnana, they are also devoted. They also are worshippers. They are also devoted to Bhagavan. So the saints are, there is devotion, there is knowledge, and there is satkarma, good karma. So you find all saints doing some good work in different measures. All of them also being devoted, all of them having also shraddha, bhakti. bhakti. So karma, jnana, bhakti, all the three are there. If you are in company of them, we get inspiration from them. And the saints always have an attraction in our mind. Because we find that they seem to be happy for no reason at all. They don't possess much. And still they don't seem to need to possess much. With whatever limited possessions are there, which are required for sustaining life, they are happy. So this is very attractive to us, can see that. They sort of, they are like the role model. And therefore we are inspired. That's why Sangha Satsuvidiyata, we will seek the company of saints or good people, wise people, who can be a role model, and you can mold yourself according to them. If you watch them, you think like them, you walk like you act like them. Satsangatve, Nisangatvam, because the company slowly or attachment of worldly things are withdrawn. And the attachment comes from Ishvara. This Sangatve, Nirmohatvam, attachment goes away, moha, delusion goes away. Nirmohatve, Nischilatattvam, and delusion goes away, the knowledge comes, and then abidance comes, and Jivan Mukti, you are liberated while living. Start of satsang. Anyway, the idea is that a lot of things are said about the satsanga. Our Panditji was singing about Guru also, and about, see, these sayings are of Gurus in particular, which will come later on. But anyway, now the topic has arisen. Gurus are compared to the philosopher's stone. It is said about philosopher's stone is that when it touches iron, it turns iron to gold. So at one point, Shankaracharya says, he wanted to describe his Guru. He was looking for some illustration which is worthy of describing his Guru. And he said, Drishtanto naiva drishta tribhuna jatare sadguru jnanadatu. I was looking for Drishtanta, illustration for my Sadguru in all the three worlds, in the earth, heaven, everywhere. I was looking for something that can really illustrate my Guru. Drishtanta, Deva Drishta, I could not find a single illustration. So somebody said, why not a Parasmani? Why not a philosopher's stone? It's called sparsha in Sanskrit. Sparshasche tatra kalpya. So right? A parasmani, meaning a philosopher's stone, sarnati yadaho ashmatam, swarnatam ashmasaram. It converts the iron into gold. Great thing. Says, can philosopher's stone be an appropriate example for your Guru or not? So yes, the philosopher's stone is indeed great, it converts the iron into gold. But nas parsatvam tathavi. But then, a philosopher's stone also cannot be another philosopher's stone, understand? It can convert iron to gold, but cannot convert iron to philosopher's stone. Nas parsatvam. Shita charana yoge sadguru sviya shishye sviyam samyam vidhate. But look at our teacher. Shita charana yoge, those who have surrendered to his feet. Sviyam samyam vidhate. He imparts to them similarity of himself, meaning he makes them similar to him. Therefore, nirupama, there is no upama for my Guru. These are the ways of, singing the glories of the Mahatmas. Sangha Satsuvidiyata. So, when you seek the company of good people, saintly people, learned people, like-minded people, that also means that you should give the company of the opposite people. Because mind can influence both ways. That being the case, then you must also make sure that you avoid the company of those people who can disturb, shake your faith. They can make arguments, and our faith can be shaken because we are still not so sure about things. So, avoid that company and seek the company of Guru. The next sentence says, Bhagavato Bhaktir Drudha Dhiyata. Cultivate steady devotion to the Lord. You have the bhakti already. But Drudha Adhiyata, make the bhakti for Bhagavan, devotion for the Lord, firm. Firm and steady, unshakable devotion. So we do have devotion, we can be shaken up. This man says, Swamiji, I believe in God. Thank you. You are obliging God by believing Him, So anyway, I believe in God. What's the reason? Swamiji, whatever I desire happens. Meaning that as long as God acts as a servant, so long we believe in Him. Suppose He decides not to fulfill your desire, then God is also dismissed. So, we have devotion, but still it is not a very firm devotion. That conviction is not there. That Bhagavan is in fact always Surat or always a well-wisher. He is a benefactor. That firm conviction is not there. Therefore, whenever something happens which is very painful, some kind of a shock happens in life, your faith gets shaken up. Therefore, Drudha Adhiyata. May you cultivate the devotion of the Lord such that it is dhrudam, it is unshakable faith. That even when something happens, you know that Ishvara, Bhagavan always is His grace I enjoy. He is always benevolent. In benevolence of Ishvara, there is a firm faith. For that, we should do something. In order to make the devotion steady and firm, we should do something. Perform special acts of devotion. Srimad Bhagavatam talks about Navadha Bhakti. You must have heard about it. This ninefold devotion, Shravanam, Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. This is a way of cultivating the devotion. What can we do to cultivate devotion? In Narada Bhakti Sutra, this question is asked. What should we do to cultivate devotion? Then, Garga Acharya says that you should do the puja. So Bhagavan's puja. Have an altar at your home and perform the puja with as much devotion as you can. So performing puja also is conducive to nurturing the devotion in us. Kathadishu iti parasharya. Vedavyas says that in Katha, listen to this Katha means the glories of the Lord, Shravanam. So, sometimes people ask, Swamiji, what should I do? That Sri Krishna is my Ishtadevata, but what should I do to have devotion for Sri Krishna? Whoever the Ishtadevata is. Shravanam, listen to the glories of the Lord. Fortunately, in India, we have vast devotional literature. It's called Puranas. Puranas are all great texts of devotion. And by listening to Puranas, what do Puranas do? Puranas are the mythological literature. They describe the glories of the Lord. They describe glories of the devotees of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, What is Bhagavatam? Bhagavata Proktam, that which is spoken of by Bhagavan, that we sing the glories of Bhagavan. Bhagavata also means Bhakta, so that sings glories of Bhakta, so Bhagavatam. You listen to the glories of Dhruva, Prahlada, Ambarisha, great devotees, and you are inspired. Listen to the glories of the Lord, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc., Sri Krishna. So listening to glories of the Lord, listening to glories of the Bhaktas of the Lord, Bhagavata also means, of gaining that Lord. So the sadhana bhakti, all this is very beautifully described in the Puranas. Therefore, whoever your Ishta Devata is, there are 18 Puranas. There is one Purana devoted to a given deity. So Shiva Purana devoted to Lord Shiva, Vishnu Purana devoted to Lord Vishnu, etc. Devi Bhagavatam, etc. There is Ganesh Purana, Brahmana Purana, and so on and so forth. Shravana, Kirtana, singing the glories of the Lord. So when somebody is teaching you, telling you, then you listen to the glories of the Lord. Even that itself is very effective. This Katha Shravana, listening to the glories of the Lord is considered very, very effective. Bhagavatam says that through the words, the Ishvara himself enters into your ears and goes into your heart and removes the darkness of ignorance in your heart. Very effective. Shravanam, Kirtanam, when somebody is ready to listen to you, then you tell them, you sing the glories. Smaranam, when there is nobody around, Smaranam, you remember it in your mind. Arsanam, do the puja. In short, this kind of practices should be there in your life. But Swamiji, I'm not interested in puja. Alright. So Ramana Maharshi says that bhakti can be done at 3 levels. Kaya vāngmana kaya uttamam pujanam japas chintanam kraman. You can worship the Lord with your limbs at the level of the body. That is called puja, where you perform variety of vicharas or steps of worshipping the Lord, meditating upon Him, invoking Him, giving Him asanam, padyam, argyam, argya, achamaniyam, snanam, 16 steps there. Shoshopada. So this is one way of cultivating bhakti. Japa, at the level of speech, recite Lord's glories, Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama. What are we like? Shiva Mahimna Stotra. For every devata, there are very beautiful stotras. Plenty of sutra literature is available. I should not promote our work, but then we have brought out, in Gujarat of course, the stotra books on all devatas, on all popular devatas, Sanskrit words and Gujarati translation. Where the verse is difficult, word by word translation. When not difficult, straight translation. On starting Lord Shiva, then Devi, then Sri Krishna, then Sri Rama, then Anjaneya, then Ganesha, then Guru. The idea is that beautiful stotras are there of all the devatas. And the purpose of collecting them in a book and giving them translation is that when you can, we are also bringing out this, for example, CDs, of singing those, but stotras also to some extent. But the idea is that when you sing them, and the meaning can be followed, it is very conducive to cultivating and nurturing devotion. Pujanam Chintanam. Third level of worship is meditation, mental worship of the Lord. So idea is that do special actions which are conducive for nurturing the bhakti of the devotion in your heart. Bhagavatah bhakti druda adhyata. Let there be a firm devotion in the heart for Ishvara, for Bhagavan. Who is Bhagavan? Bhagaha asya asti iti Bhagavan. One who possesses Bhaga, the sixfold glory is called Bhagavan. So, bhakti. Understand, this is a Vedanta stotra and they talk of bhakti, So don't think that there is no bhakti in Vedanta. Without bhakti, there is no knowledge because bhakti precedes the knowledge. Bhakti is or devotion is the means of knowledge. Naturally, you have to be devoted to who you want to know. Even a scientist also is devoted to whatever it is he wants to know. He is totally devoted to that. He has given away all other activities and totally his soul is poured into that. That is devotion. Then come to the second line of this verse. Shantyadi parichiyata. Cultivate the qualities such as Shama, Dama, etc. The students of Vedanta may have heard this Sadhana, Chatushtaya Sampatti. If you have not heard, don't worry about it, but then, in case you have heard about it, this is a reminder. Sadhana, Chatushtaya Sampatti. Sadhana, Chatushtaya, the fourfold means. What's the fourfold means? Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi Sarga Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. Viveka. Viveka means Nitya Vastu Viveka. Viveka is discrimination. What is real, what is unreal. In the earlier verse, we are told as Vairagya, dispassion. We have discussed the first verse already. Viveka Vairagya. Third is Samadhi Sarga Sampatti. The sixfold inner wealth beginning from Shama. So particularly here, the verse, the teacher means to tell us that cultivate this quality, Shantyadi Parichetam. Shanti means Shama. Cultivate Shama and Dama in particular. Other qualities are discussed also later on. What is Shama? If you study Tattva, what do you say? Mano Nigraha, the control of the mind. Shama means peace of mind. Sham means Shanti. The word Shanti also is made from root Sham. And peace of mind. Cultivate peace of mind. The mind which enjoys peace is mind that is under your control. Mind which is agitated is not the mind under our control. Therefore, to bring the mind under our control, to master the mind, what should we do? To bring about the peace of mind. How do you bring about the peace of mind? By removing, by effort, removing all those things that disturb the peace of the mind. Now there are certain things that agitate our mind. For example, when there is craving for something in my mind, that agitates my mind. When I am doing my Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Jai Ram, that time it is I want coffee, my mind says. That craving. And then makes me drop my japa. I get up, prepare coffee. Before that the fellow will not leave me. This is called kama. It's strong craving. Krodha. While doing japa also, I settle account with many people. He told me this yesterday, that told me this, and so very often the anger sometimes we keep our mind so busy that these feelings do not have an opportunity to arise. But when we are doing japa or meditation, then these fellows know now that he has nowhere to go. So all of them, they all manifest that time. Many people write reports, during meditation. Today, what you have to do in the office, I'm supposed to present a report at 10 o'clock, all that goes on in meditation. In short, there are many things that disturb our mind. Mainly, kama, krodha, lobha. Lord Krishna says, Trividam narakasjedam dvaram nashanam atmana kama krodha thalova tasmadetat trayam tyaje. Here Arjuna, Lord Krishna says, Arjuna, these three are your enemies. They are gateway to hell. What is it? Kama, krodha, tatha lobha. Kama means craving. To enjoy something. Craving for strong craving of gratification. Sense gratification, the emotional gratification, ego gratification. Strong craving is called kama. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. When any of these thoughts arise, they disturb our mind. Meaning that we are not able to enjoy peace of mind because of this kama, krodha, lobha, dvesha means didi and isha, jealousy. So what do we do? So one of the important things to do is, while we should do puja, japa, all those practices we should do. Studying the scriptures, listening to glories, understand now we are talking about a person who has nothing else to do. Yesterday we said that Nijagruhat Purnam Vinargamyatam. Leave your home immediately. Even if you don't leave your home, at least that means some attachment, that means they are given up and now you are devoted to this thing. Even if that result you do not have, then still find some time in your daily routine anyway. Understand, number one thing, that as we have been discussing since last 3 days, ultimately we have no choice but to gain moksha. Without that, the mind does not be at rest. We are all born with only one agenda, and that is moksha. Total happiness, total freedom, and that's what we love. Our heart loves freedom, heart loves happiness. And that's one agenda with which we are born. So sooner we dedicate ourselves to that goal, better it is. And suppose that agenda is not completed in this lifetime, then what will happen? We will born again to again, pursue the agenda. And this we have been doing since I don't know how many births. From time beginnings we are doing it. So what is viveka? What is discrimination in life? What is discernment in life? To remind ourselves or to be aware of what is the goal of life. Keep asking this question, what is the goal? I want to be a CEO for what purpose? I want to be a millionaire for what purpose? I want to be so and so for what purpose? In the very first day we discussed, ultimately for happiness. But we discussed subsequently, what is the happiness that I am seeking? My own self. The 10th man story, that you are what you are searching for. From Dashmasi, you are that. And so our basic desire behind all the desires, even though there are many desires arising in our mind, the desire behind all desires is ultimately for moksha. Everybody is a mukshu. Moksha means what? One desires of moksha. It is important to remember that, so that our mind, our life is properly anchored. We do not go wayward. We are on the right track. It does not matter. You can live whatever life you are living, do what you are doing. Doesn't matter, it's fine. But remember that all of these ultimately should lead me to my destination. That I am born with a certain destination. It is not the life has no purpose, it has a specific purpose. And the means of achieving moksha is first to grow in our inner purity, which is what the first was discussed. So live the life of value as best as you can, the right attitude, healthy attitudes, healthy values. What's a healthy attitude? We discussed yesterday, prasada buddhi. Accept whatever comes before you as prasada, as the grace of God, grace of Ishvara. Ishvara buddhi. Whatever you do, try to do it as an offering to the Lord. So a contributor instead of a consumer. These are attitudes. All these attitudes taught by Bhagavad Gita and the scriptures are conducive for inner growth. So life of activity, meaning life of householder, should ideally be lived as a life of pursuit of inner growth. And only when the goal or destination is clear, that the path will always become clear. Vedanta does not say renounce the life and take sannyasa, etc. It doesn't say that. It says you may do that when the time comes, if you want to do. But inside our mind, we should slowly become renunciates. That will come that will be next one. We'll talk about that. But anyway, Shantyadi Parichiyana. Therefore, if you remember what the goal is, if goal is moksha or happiness, and remember also happiness is my own nature. So what I want in my life is to be discovered from myself, not from outside. The success is within me. The happiness is within me, is not outside of me. The life is what? Praptasya prapti, attainment of what is already attained. We said yesterday that karma, action is the means of attaining what you do not have. And jnana, knowledge is the means of attaining what you have, but you think you don't have. So always remember, life is meant for praptasya prapti, attainment of what is already attained. I am what I am seeking, and therefore I should become slowly independent, free from my expectations and requirements. Our Swamiji says, what is progress? Progress is converting luxuries into necessities. So cell phone was a luxury 15 years ago. Today it's a necessity. We cannot do anything without cell phone. We can't live without cell phone. There are signs everywhere. Please switch off your cell phone. But people will not switch off because it's so dear to us, so important. Swamiji, you say switch off. What if my important messages are there? I'm expecting a call, this, that. So what is progress? Progress is expanding necessities. What is luxury becomes necessity in no time. They say that luxury comes as a guest, lingers on to become host, and stays on to enslave you. Luxury comes as a guest, lingers on to become host, and stays on to become master and slave. So these people watch out. That are we becoming slaves or are we becoming free? What are we becoming as we proceed in our life? Is inner satisfaction growing or is it decreasing? Anyway, so this viveka is important, that brings about vairagya, that's all important constantly to remind the mind. So our priorities are right, our attitudes are right, our values are right. Whatever you do is fine. Whatever the situation requires you to do, that you do. But the values, the attitude, the priorities should be as clear as possible. Shantyadi parichiyatam. Then automatically the cravings and angers and jealousy, etc. will drop down. And let me tell you a short story here before we proceed to the next one here. Swamiji, please teach us, tell us, what should we do in our day-to-day life? This question is asked in the Upanishad. The creator is called Prajapati. Prajapati has three kinds of progeny: Deva, Danava and Manava. Deva means the gods who live in the heavens, know nothing but pleasure. They are all indulgent in pleasure. That is the characteristic of their life, Deva. Danavas live in Patala, they are always fighting. So anger, cruelty is in that nature. And Manava lives on the earth. He is greedy. Human being is greedy. So Devata's predominant cause is craving and kama. Danava's predominant trait is krodha. Human being predominant trait is lobha. Meaning all these three are in us. Kama, krodha and lobha. But told in the story. So once upon a time, all these three progenies of Prajapati decided to go to the teacher, go to the grandfather, grandsire, and seek some teaching from him. So they sent the representatives, Devas, Danavas, Manavas, sent the representatives to Prajapati. In those days, it was not easy to get attention from the teacher. You have to go where the teacher is, live there a life of austerity, self-control, serving the teacher for a period of time. So that you get prepared for what is going to come. So after they lived this life for a period of time, then Prajapati invited the Devas, the gods, and asked them, what's the purpose of your coming here? Devas say, oh revered sir, please tell us something that can be useful to us in our day-to-day life. That's a common question there. Swami, please tell us something useful in our day-to-day life. So if somebody asks you, you can tell this story, that's why also. So Prajapati, da, it's a one letter, da. Did you hear what he said? Yes, sir. He said, da. What does it mean? Damyada. Thou means self-control, have self-control. So, this Dhamma or self-control is the antidote of kama or the craving. You know what the craving makes us do? It makes us cross all our boundaries. Even though I have diabetes, and I told you earlier, more the diabetes, more the craving for sugar. My mind justifies, I think one dozen will be alright. I think one cup of ice cream will be alright. One laddu will be alright. Come, I know that it is not alright, but still my mind justifies. So very often we cross boundaries because of our temptation. Temptations force us to cross our boundaries. I know that I should eat only one samosa, but it's so very tasty, that I eat 2, 3. Then draw the boundaries. What is Dhamma? Means self-control. What is self-control? Draw the boundaries. While sitting on the dining table, there is one place to draw the boundary. How many before you start eating the food, look at the food and decide how many chapatis, how much rice, how much dal, how many samosa, how many this, how many that. There are many tempting things in there, but decide how much I'm going to eat. Yes, Swami, I decided 15 samosas. No, don't decide that. Decide that which is conducive to your health. Hitam, mitam. Medhyam. Food must be hitam, mitam, medhyam. Mitam means in measured quantity. Hitam means that which is conducive to your health. And medhyam, that which is pure or sacred, meaning that which can be offered to devatas. Understand that God is sitting in our stomach. Aham Vaishvanara Bhutva Prayanam Dehamashitaha. Lord Krishna says that I reside in the stomach of all living beings as a digestive fire. So whatever food we are eating, we are offering it to God. Now all kinds of stuff you cannot offer to God. So whatever you can offer in the home, that's what you can offer here. Just called Medhyam. Anyway, then what we can offer you yourself could know. So, hitam, mitam, medhyam. That way, no. In everything, Lord Krishna says, yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapna avodasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. In ahara, in the food, there must be moderation. In vihara, in movement, there must be moderation. In sleep, moderation. In waking, moderation. In all activities, moderation. Alertness. So we tell them, let's start with one limb, namely tongue. A good starting point. Tongue does two things. One, tongue tastes food, meaning eats food. And secondly, of course, tongue talks. Start with self-control at these two levels. Draw boundaries about how much food I am going to eat. And boundaries about what I am going to talk and how much I am going to talk. Everywhere rules are given. About food, a rule is given in Yoga Shastra. Purayed ashanena ardham. We must fill half of our stomach with food, solid food. Half the stomach, We fill up to this point, But fill half the stomach with food. The 1/4 must be filled by water. Vayo sanchanarthaya chaturdam avasheshaye. And for digestion and movement of air, because you need oxygen, to digest the food, 1/4 of the stomach must be kept empty. Do this. So, Yuktahar, Viharasya, etc. So this is all kama. That craving, that temptation can be overcome by self-control. Wherever temptations are, second function that speech performs is speaking. There also sometimes you have no control. So Lord Krishna says, observe this rule. What should you, while speaking, observe this basic rule. What is it? Anudvekaram vakyam satyam prihitam chet swadhyaya visanchaya vangmayam tapochyate. It is called austerity of speech. Anudvekaram vakyam. You make sure that your words do not disturb somebody, do not hurt the feelings of somebody. You get it? And don't hurt. Sensitive to the feelings of others. But Swamiji, why do they feel like that? That's their business, why they should feel. But then, we have to respect the sentiments of other people, whatever they are. Whatever sentiments they should have, that's there for them to decide. We should respect the sentiments. Whether we have those sentiments or not, we should respect them. However, Swamiji says, look, when you are in the company of other people, respect the sentiments. Suppose you are sitting at a dining table with lots of Westerners there, you are also one of them, and that time suppose you start a traditional way of eating, then those fellows will be shocked. What is this fellow doing? So when you do that, that hurts that feeling.